The Tuatha lines have broken, and we still live. It looks like fate has a sense of humor. Please, forgive my melancholy. The champion of Melsenshir should be cheered, not subjected to my sorrow. I am Adran Tyr, and I owe you my thanks. Though many have been lost, your courage saved a great many more. I am a warrior, nothing more. I go where I am told. I will spill blood with my company upon the shield wall until either I fall or no enemies remain. I did not think fate would let us survive that onslaught. It seems that even if fate is not on our side, you are. She was the greatest among us. What happened out there on the wall? I knew she would redeem herself. Thank Lyria she was here, and that her life was not given in vain. Melsenshir has been my home for 7 years of bitter struggle. As grateful as I am for the strength of its walls, I am eager for a new horizon. I was dead, or I should have been at least, if it were not for a Varani mercenary who threw himself in the fray. He fought like a demon, and I was able to escape. The poor man was not so fortunate, though. I watched the Tuatha cut him off, and then he was gone. It shames me, but I once held such mercenaries in great disdain. But this man, whoever he was a warrior of honor. He was cut off and surrounded by the Tuatha. He is surely dead. However, his body must lie somewhere in Cursewood. It would give me peace to learn of his fate. The Varani warrior? The last I saw of him, he was cut off behind Tuatha lines in Cursewood. Farewell.
Who's this, then, come to lighten gloomy Melsenshir? Did you come to fight in the ranks, Warsworn? No, you're not rank and file, are you? Did you come to fight in the ranks, Warsworn? No, you're not rank and file, are you? You're lords and master, soldier, and don't you forget that. Perhaps we'll have a keep here one day, and I'll be a Castellan right and proper. Every spare shield and blade from the Order's keeps come here. Here where death cries as endlessly as the ocean weaves. Call me a Castellan without a keep. Within the greater army is a smaller, war-sworn force, and that force answers to me. Where there's war-sworn. Our way is the soldier's life. It gets under your skin and into your blood, and there it stays.
Our soldiers are doing their best out there, but it's still a nightmare. Watch out for those red-eyed bastards.
You! Stop! State your business.
Keep your hands off me, fool. I'm no Tuatha.
You're the one who slew the Baelor. Honor to you, champion. I command the Ariad. We are warrior scouts, the eyes of the Alfar. My men are scouting the Tuatha's retreat, though I fear I may have lost even them to this cursed forest. I have been leading the Ariad for many seasons now. I may not have the flair that some of our other leaders do, but I get the job done. Don't care what happened on the wall. Talara was a great general, through and through. She'll always be a hero to the Ariad, and to me. My men and I are glad to be free of its walls. It is about time the brass decides to unleash us on these Tuatha dogs. Cluracan's doomed to drown in blood. Mark my words. The men and women of the Ariad are handpicked for possessing a very particular set of skills. We are the eyes of the Alpha forces. It is our responsibility to move among the enemy, to watch and wait, and when necessary, to kill. Vile creatures. The sooner we kill them all, the better. They are overdue. My men are never late. They are either where they are supposed to be, or they are dead. In fact, if you are venturing out into the forest, may I prevail upon you for aid? 3 of my men are missing. If you discover any evidence of what befell them within the Cursewood, let me know. Warrior to warrior, I would be in your debt. And if it would sweeten the pot, there'd be gold for you as well. It's been called that ever since they laid the foundations of Mel Senshir. Even the smallest of plants and critters can kill you out here. Deep within the Cursewood, most likely. I sent 3 soldiers into the forest to track the movements of the Tuatha. Where that took them is anybody's guess. Later, then.
It is a pleasure to meet the Siegebreaker. Especially here, in a land where pleasure has been all too rare. I am Sidon the Outcast, Prince in exile of the House of Sorrows. I'm here to welcome you to our home. I see the hesitation in your eyes. Although I am Fae of the Winter Court, you and I have a common enemy. I am Sidon the Outcast. Once I was Prince of the House of Sorrows, but my true duties are to the true Court of Winter. The Winter Fae have been disgraced and despoiled by Gadflow and the Tuatha. With your help, I can end their reign. Clearly I'm not Tuatha. I carry a loathing for them that mortals could never understand. I simply approached your lines peacefully and expressed my desire to speak with the Siegebreaker. It seems that even the simplest mortal soldier can recognize an ally against our mutual enemy. Indeed, you accomplished a great feat here. But the Tuatha De Own are far from defeated. Before striking the heart, you must trim the fat and cleave through the bones. If you wish to put an end to Gadflow's reign, meet my brethren and me at Foe's Hearth to the east, and we can talk further there. Yes, I traveled with Agarth back in his prime, but those are stories for another time. I've heard of her, and I've seen her work. A dead diplomat here, a salvaged peace treaty there, a handful of lies told to protect an innocent. But even as a collector of secrets, there's precious little I know about her. Nothing could be more beautiful than a mystery like her. We are the remains of the Winter Fae. Refugees from the capital of Bale. Outcasts from the houses. And those who escaped Prismia Blades. The Tuatha have taken our court and our birthrights. And for that, we will take their lives to restore a balance once again. We're only a shadow of what we were before Gadflow poisoned our minds. Seems natural for embodiments of decay, doesn't it? But unlike our lighter siblings in the Summer Court, we'll fight to cleanse the Tuatha from our lands, just as any wounded animal would. I am Sidon the Outcast. Once I was Prince of the House of Sorrows, but my true duties are to my kind. The Winter Fae have been disgraced and despoiled by Gadflow and his new god. For House and Heartbreak, I shall end his reign. No need to be surprised. We know that you seek the Corpse Collector. Secrets are among our specialties. It wasn't so long ago that you were working with him here. But then, that was a lifetime ago for you, wasn't it? We have walked these lands for countless ages, always playing the same roles, always seeing to the proper cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Now, we face the end of our ways. Not from the mortals, as some had feared, but from our own kind. The Wather have corrupted the very soul of the Unseelie, twisting our people, stealing our noble houses, and driving our true leaders into exile. I've tried to get the Unseelie to unite against them, but by the time we realized their threat, it was too late. But I'll not give up. When mortals think of Fae, they prefer to think of the Summer Court. And why not? They're radiant and true, even if they are too full of themselves. By all means, pretend all the Fae are like them. You'd never dare go to sleep if you truly understood the rest of us. We have walked these lands for countless ages, always playing the same roles, always seeing to the proper cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Now, we face the end of our ways. Not from the mortals, as some had feared, but from our own kind. Prismeer has always grown in our lands, but only with a surge of magic into our world was it anything other than a simple gem. Home of my heart, and grave of my troubles. This is where the brave and foolish come to die. And in death, they feed the swift and sly. That little fool used to be nothing more than a capering jester in the Winter Court. That he found the power to rise against the High King and defeat him. It's enough to make you think there's something to his god, Tirnoch. The House of Sorrows is home to the lovelorn, the desperate, and those ravaged by hope. Together, my brethren and I took back what the world had taken from us. Now, the Dwatha have taken our people, our houses, and our self-respect. We grieve at these losses, but we shall take them back by whatever means necessary. I'd rather not talk here. Cluricon is filled with Tuatha spies. Travel to the old ruins at Foe's Hearth. We'll meet you inside and we can talk there. Now be careful. These swamps can be treacherous.
You go ahead. It's been some time since Sidon and I had a chance to talk.
Indeed, Agarth. I hear on the wind that you laid down your sword and drowned yourself in drink when you learned the ways of fate. And yet here you are, sword in hand, again the victor. How is this? Do the winds lie to me?
It's a long tale. It started when I put up long enough to go bury a friend of mine in Alistar Tower. Or rather, that's what I had planned to do.
Come in. What do you need today? Goodbye. Needs... Something? There are worse allies to have than the Winterfell.
Winter is strong in this place. When first the Fae walked into its depths, it bore great fossils, bones of beasts greater and more terrifying than we Fae. But for all their strength, the earth at their feet lasted longer. It sapped their strength, their life, their flesh.
I have waited some time for you to come, Siegebreaker, and it seems that my patience has, at least, been worthwhile. The House of Sorrows has need of your might. Aid us, and you will earn a strong ally in the war against the Tuatha Deon. Like your Alfar allies, we Winterfae suffer under the Tuatha's onslaught. And like the Alfar, we Winterfae need a champion. But it is a difficult position we are in, mortal. The Fae are not like your kind. We have different priorities, different threats. We need someone who understands that. You may call me Bizarrain. I represent one of the great houses of the Winter Court, the House of Sorrows. This war with the Tuatha has worn the house to all but dust. We Fae are ill-equipped to handle such change, but your kind, you mortals, can bear it. It is not a simple task I ask of you. I have only approached you because you show the potential of use. You must still prove your worth. Go to the Midden and find the place called the Proving Halls. This hearthstone will grant you access. Once you are within the halls, my questions will be answered.
So, can't believe we beat you here. Sidon knows some amazing shortcuts through the...
It is agreeable to see you, Siegebreaker. Cluricon can be inhospitable at times, as the Tuatha have learned. We've made sure of it. So I did. We are the Bitter Frost, the last few remnants of free Winter Fae. We have refused to bend knee to Gadflow or his god. Our numbers are few, but we have fought our kin as best we can. The once noble houses of Sorrow, Pride, and Vengeance have all fallen under Gadflow's sway. Until they're freed, the Tuatha's ranks will continue to swell with the faithful. You can't fight a war on your own. And even if you could, you'd find your path barred by the House of Pride, as well as the House of Vengeance. You need a way to strike at their heart. A way to reach Gadflow himself. And we know how you can get there. Blind him. Cut out his tongue. Draw the venom from our land. Only then will we be able to begin to strike at Alabastra. The Tuatha have built Prismere chantries across Cluricon. From here, Gadflow rallies the faithful, preaches the word of Tirnoch, and corrupts our land. Destroy these chantries and disrupt Gadflow's ability to infect its land. Without Gadflow to guide them, the Tuatha in Cluricon will be disorganized and scattered. When this is done, we'll take you to Ventrinio. He can help you breach Alabastra. The Tuatha built chantries of Prismere in the heart of Cluricon. From here, Gadflow watches, and his toxic prayers seep into the heart of every Winter Fae. No Fae can withstand their power up close, and no House of the Winter Core can be free until those abominations are destroyed. There are 3 of them, to the south and east. Kill their guards, then smash their crystals and be done with them. Gadflow will try to stop you, but it's just a harmless projection. He can't hurt you. At least, not directly. Go now. Break the tyrant's grip.
Do not be alarmed, young one. I am not your enemy. Not all of the Winter Fae have joined the ranks of the Tuatha. I did not join the Tuatha when they came, even as other that I cared for fell under their spell. The Great Cycle and the balance are what I follow. This war of theirs is lunacy. Even here, the Tuatha created death and destruction. When they summoned Balor, the region was consumed in flames. It will be a long time before anything grows in the charred path he left behind. I do not understand them or their new god. My friends among them have become wild, not like themselves at all. They are cruel and distant now, fanatical in their beliefs. I am awaiting the return of my beloved, Alea. She fell under the spell of the Tuatha and marched north with their vile army. Among them she perished, one of the many to fall at Melsenshir. I wonder, could you help me with a small task? I need this ring placed inside of a hollow. I am forbidden from entering Ranil. When Alea fell under the spell of the Tuatha, I tried to convince her that it was lunacy, but her belief was fanatical. She banished me from her presence and that of her hollow. Thank you, mortal. Alea's hollow is called Ranil. It lies on the southern edge of the Keening. There is a small altar at its bottom. Place the ring there. I wish to show Alea that my love has remained true, and that I wait for her still. My beloved, we have always been together through every turn of the Great Cycle. But with the coming of the Tuatha, she changed. She no longer cared for the balance, only for their new god. I tried to convince her to return to the cycle, but she wouldn't listen. She marched with the Tuatha army to Melsenshir and fell during the battle. Ranil is a Fae hollow on the southern edge of the Keening. It is where Alea returns after each turn of the Great Cycle. Go to Ranil. It's a hollow on the southern edge of the Keening. Place the ring on the altar you will find there. By doing so, we shall demonstrate to Alea that my love for her remains true. Farewell. Please, mortal, Ranil awaits. Farewell.
It was a time of change. The cycles of the seasons turned as ever, but inside the bones of the earth, there lurked a cold. It was not the cold of winter. Beside the houses of sorrows, pride, and vengeance, a new turmoil fomented. A magic hitherto unseen.
Greetings.